Hello friends. So today's topic is National Research Foundation. Okay. So in this video we will be reading about why is this particular thing running in news, and we'll also be discussing about why what all will be the benefits if we come out with such bill. Okay. So the coming to the news itself, the Union Cabinet has recently agreed to introduce National Research Foundation bill in Parliament. Okay. Now, once it comes to Parliament, we'll be able to better understand the pros and cons associated to it. But as of now, whatever is running in news, we'll be discussing this. Okay. So, this was one of the recommendations of National Policy on Education in 2020 itself, that came in 2020, that we should be having a National Research Foundation. We should be having a separate fund wherein government or industry should fund together the research culture in India. Okay. So, if we come up with a National Research Foundation, it will actually bring to the common platform researchers, industry as well as government. Okay, researchers will be doing research, whereas industry as well as government will together fund the research projects that researchers are doing. So all in all, we will be coming up with better products, let's say in the field of medicine or science and technology or any other, even in agriculture. Okay. So the idea here is that researchers should be able to focus more on the research part rather than the funding part. Okay, the funding part should be taken care of by government and industry. Industry has one more responsibility of creating the demand. Industry will let the researchers know what is required in the current market. Okay. Okay, so let us move to the next slide. Now coming to the structure of National Research Foundation. Okay, so National Research Foundation will be funded 50,000 crores every year up to 5 years. So it will be actually 2,50,000 crores in total in a period of 5 years. We will be funding 2,50,000 crores. Okay, out of this 50,000 crore, every year government will be contributing 14,000 crores, that's almost 28%, whereas the industries will be contributing 72%, that's 36,000 crore. Okay, so they together will make up this 15,000 crore. But whatever share government has to give every year, that's 14,000 crore. Out of this 14,000 crore, 4,000 crores will be used from its existing budget. The existing budget is actually Science and Engineering Research Board. So SERB was an existing budget wherein government was contributing 4,000 crores every year to this budget. Instead of this SERB, it will now be funding it in NRF only. Apart from this 4,000 crore, it will also be contributing this 10,000 crore. Okay. So that will be the structure of NRF in total. Now coming to what is the problem? Why do we need to create a body like NRF? Okay, so the problem here is, in case of India, our R&D is funded very less. Okay, if we are talking with respect to GDP, okay, then in case of India, research we are funding only 0.6% as compared to the GDP that we are generating. Okay, if we compare it with that of US and China, US is contributing 2.8% of their GDP in research funding, or China is contributing 2.1% of whatever money they are generating in funding the research. So if a country is promoting research culture, okay, ultimately their education sector will also develop and they will be having better products, earning more royalty. Okay, so if we have such low amount of research funding, obviously research culture will not be promoted in India and it will cause brain drain. Our scientists, those who are interested in research in India, they will go to other countries and contribute to their research culture, right? To give you an idea related to what is the condition of research per million population, okay, India has only 200 researchers per million population, and imagine this comparison. South Korea has 7,100 researchers per million population. Okay, so the same thing, because we are not funding our research, obviously they will be moving on to other countries. So it can be that Indian researchers are sitting in China or US or South Korea, helping them to research fast, right? Causing brain drain in India. So if we start funding the research project, we will be also reducing the amount of brain drain that India witnesses right now. Okay. As of now, by introducing this NRF, we have witnessed there will be an increase in GERD. GERD actually refers to how much amount of gross investment we are doing in research development. Okay. But this increase is a very meager increase of 2%. Although if it happens, it will be good. But this increase is only 2%. Okay. Now, whatever resources we have, how to best make use of these resources, the bill is talking about all of this also. Okay. The bill says that whatever peer review time is consumed, for example, I am doing research, okay, my peers are supposed to review my research work, okay. So the bill says that this entire peer review should be concluded within 6 months. No, the article says is by the time I have created a demand and by the time I get that money, this entire time period frame should be 6 months only. Matlab, you include peer review, you include the generation request, you include the time required to send that money also. All of this should be done in 6 months, because presently the condition is if I am doing a research and I am getting funding after 1 year, that means by that time the research project has gone outdated. Somebody else has come up with that result, right? So the time frame should be reduced. This is one of the recommendations in this article. Okay. Another recommendation is there is no mechanism to check. For example, I am allocated certain amount, whether I get that amount, how much time I am getting that amount, whether the peer review was done within 6 months or not. There is no mechanism to check all of this, right? So article says that in this bill, we should also be introducing a mechanism to check whether all these promises that you're making is being done or not. Okay. Additionally, the article also says that there should be occurrence of digital transfer of documents. Presently, what happens is table-to-table transfer of documents is occurring. Whatever research paper is there, it is going from one table to another table for peer review also, for approval also, financial release also, finance release also. Okay, all this should occur digitally so that it is faster. Okay. Another thing is financial queries ke liye you keep researcher free, because the task of researcher is to focus on research only. If you have any kind of financial query, you should consult the industry or the government or the bank. Okay. Do not disturb the researcher. This is another recommendation from the article. Okay. Usually how researcher is disturbed is they are conducting a particular research, okay, and the finance team will come, okay, why do you require money for this purpose? Why do you require money for this purpose? For that, the article is giving one solution is explicit spending guideline should be already given to the researcher. Matlab, wherever you are making your expenditure, in this case you should do the expenditure, in this case you should limit your expenditure, here you should spend more, here you should spend less. All this kind of a rough explicit guideline must be given to the researcher so that they are not disturbed. Okay. This kind of guideline should be provided from NRF to the researcher, and after the research is done or wherever the money was spent, the researcher is supposed to reply to NRF. They should reply to NRF that where all spending was done. That is how we will generate the accountability inside the researcher also. Okay. So actually, why are we discussing all of this is because research funding is very debatable topic in case of India. Okay, we say that so much amount of money is being spent in research, but we are not getting any output. Okay, that is because research might not turn out into a successful experiment every time, but it will give you some other amount of learning. So you must fund more to get better output. Okay. So that was the demand from the research team in India to stop brain drain. Now coming to the practice question, you can try writing this question as a 10 marker. The question says that research funding has always been a debatable topic in India. Okay, whether should we be funding so much amount in research or not, that is a debatable topic. In the light of ongoing discussion, discuss how NRF is expected to nourish research culture in India, or how NRF is expected to reduce brain drain from India. Okay, you can try writing this question. With that, we come to the end of this topic. I wish you all the very best.